I've got set up for welding the cases up. There's a couple of small bits in there, and then that bit off the end of the where the thread's broken out, where a bolt's been pushed through too far. Welder setup is this. Try and pan slow enough. I'm on maximum amps for this machine. I'm on AC. I'm biased towards towards cleaning, and we're probably at about 150 hertz on the frequency. I'm on pedal control, so I'll just feed the amps in as I need them. I don't know how much of this you'll see with me in there. You'll probably see my hand and things. I'll probably just cut this shot short, because you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing, and show you the finished result. Get a little bit of the start of the welding. I've had all this old aluminium full of oil. It's being a swine. Right, I'll bring you back when I've got the something like a finished result. Right, a few blobs later, got them holes filled up where the conrod bolts had touched, and we've got a bit of a blob to work on there. I'm not the world's greatest aluminium welder by any stretch of the imagination, but I can just about stick a bit together. Okay, we'll get the grinder out and we'll dress them up. We'll get this weld dressed up now, whether you can see that or not. After various grindings and polishings, that's not turned out too bad in there. By the time it's blasted, it'll blend in, and it's on the inside it's sealed the hole up. Just fettled it a little bit around there, and there's that bit of the where the bolt had broke through on the back, dressed up as well. And again, by the time it's blasted, that'll look fine. So get it in the blasting cabinet next. We'll just do a quick before and after. So there's our before. This one you've seen. I was just tracing out the oil pattern, oil gallery there. Little bit, it's explained in a video that I've already posted. I don't know if you'll see this through the screen, but we'll try and give you a shot. It's quite noisy. I've got a dust extractor running and obviously the compressor. For those who haven't seen this, this is the blasting cabinet. It's a standard sort of eBay cabinet with some modifications to it. It's got a dust extractor with a cyclone on down there, and there's an ash vacuum down there that barely gets anything in it at all. It all goes into that drum. It's quite noisy, but it's quite effective. The cabinet's sealed on all edges. When you put the dust extraction on, it actually sucks the gloves in. It pulls in air through there rather than having the vacuum on there. That's got an air filter, K&N type air filter on the other side of it, and on the back, if we can see that up there, the vacuum connection for the filtration is in where normally the outlet was, which has got the baffle plate on it. All these modifications are detailed on YouTube by various people, and we've also got a big bore air line connected straight to the compressor with another water trap and a regulator, and it's set down to about 50 psi. You don't want to be blasting with sort of 100 psi, your media will just shatter and turn to dust. So you try and keep the air pressure low. It's volume you want more than pressure to do the cleaning. That's what we've got now after blasting. And it's blended a lot of that weld and dressed areas and things. It's clean-ish, not too bad. Right, I'm not finished with these yet. I'll carry on probably after the machining's been done, but a word of warning for people having cases blasted. It is extremely difficult to get blasting grit out. Ideally, I would have liked to have soda blasted these. I'm working on a soda blast setup. I've already got the canister and the gun, but with the current situation I couldn't get hold of any soda media to be able to do it. So I've done these in my grit blasting cabinet, which is actually full of glass grit. On cylinder heads and things without oil galleries, you're fine. This side of it, where you've got a few threads, you can run a tap through, you can clear them holes out, no problem at all. And I'd have no trouble grit blasting that side. This side of the casing, however, is a completely different story. Consider we have got there, we've got the oil galleries, some of which we can get to from the feed and return. We can get up there okay, and we can get through there okay, and we can get through where the oil pressure relief valve is okay. The pickup, I'd never blast a set of these cases with pickup tube still in. I took that out because it was damaged anyway, and because you need to take it out. It's got a ball bearing in there. You're not going to get grit back out of that if you blast them with it in. Well, warm it up, get it nice and hot, keep working it, it'll come out. So we can get to that part of that gallery down there, and we can just about get down to that bit on the pickup, no problem. on the oil pressure relief side, where, and I'm turning this in all directions, where that goes up there, if we can see that, that is going up into this gallery here, and getting through into that is extremely difficult. We've got a tiny hole there, we've got nothing that end, and we've got a channel up through, where are we, up through there as well, up that way and through there, that breathes out there. So you've got to be extremely thorough with your cleaning of that channel, and to that end what I will be doing before we finish with these cases, there's a plug they put in there. I don't know if it's weld or just a hammered in plug, but I will be taking that out to make sure that I can clean along that gallery and up through there properly. Very, very important, having used grit blast media, because it will destroy an engine. If you leave that in on the return side, it'll find its way into the oil tank, it'll find its way into the feed side, and it'll trash it. So my recommendation would be, with BSA cases like this, or with other cases that have closed off oil galleries, don't use grit blast, use soda blast so you can wash it out, it'll dissolve. If you are going to grit blast like me, be extremely thorough with the cleaning and make sure all them galleries are clear, even if you have to open them up to clear them out, but it'll sit there. An airline won't blow it out, you won't flush it out with paraffin or in a parts washer, believe me, it will get stuck. Behind these bushes is okay, there's nothing, there's not a void behind them, but on the main bearing bush, if you leave them in and grit blast, when I've took these out in the past on case that have been blasted, even though they've been cleaned and they've been run, there's grit in that groove there, gets trapped behind the bearings. So be extremely careful. I'm also not going to leave this finish on the outside like that. I don't particularly like it. I would prefer sort of the semi-sheen, so I'll be sort of wire brushing this up and getting a little bit of a lustre back to it as well. Just my personal preference. So there we go. I'll give them a clean up a little bit, and I think we're about ready to start looking at some machining. So that'll be the next episode or next clip. Bye for now.